know this, and I'm going to go ahead and share the backstory. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but yeah. For those who have known me for years, and the majority of you all have known me for years, I used to be 60 pounds heavier. I have been a big girl all of my life. It's just one of those family traits. And during COVID, I ended up being on furlough at Lenovo, and I'd always seen these pictures of the Eno. I'd seen these pictures, and one day, you know, with the poets would go out, and I see them dressed all in white at the river. I'm like, I'm gonna go there one day. Well, I had time doing COVID. And I started going out, and I started hiking, and I hiked before, but not with such intentionality as like really getting out there and listening for God. So also during this time, I took this 4 week, I don't even know what to call it, this transformational workshop with Coach Tina Bailey. And in it, she said, it was Birthing Your Greatness. And she said, what is it that you want from this? She's like, what is it that you want from this process? Because we all have greatness in us, and it's going to come out in some way. But just like a pregnancy, how you nurture the baby, it affects how the baby comes out. I was like, well, I want to transform my body, I want to transform my life. And so that portion of the journey began with me, mind, body, and spirit. Start exercising 3 to 4 times a week and all these different things. So anyway, back to the hiking portion. My sister started joining me hiking, and she deals with anxiety, and she's very open about that. It's not a secret. It started helping with her anxiety. It started bringing my niece along. It was helping them to bond and come together. It was helping us with our family quality time. And then other people came along, and Monica, she's been on the hike, and our sister Jerry, she's been on the hike, and the kids have been on the hike, and this community was just formed. And when I went through this transformation, I had to do a photo shoot, y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
So I did a photo shoot, and I am sitting under the anointed hands of Tanisha Walker In God's Image. And Tanisha was like, talk to me about this transformation that you've had. I mentioned the hike, and she said, that needs to be, you need to do that. I don't think anyone's doing it around here. You need to do that. She basically told me it needs to be a program. And she said it needs to be paid, because we keep doing stuff for free. You need to. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right. And I went and I wrote it up. I reached out to Malika Robinson of Yoga for Us. I asked her some tips, because you know she's a yoga instructor. I wrote it and I put it on the back burner. Didn't do anything with it. And that was maybe about 2 years ago. COVID's happening. And the kids that I work with, and some of the kids that my people work with, are struggling. They're struggling emotionally. They're struggling mentally. They're not getting socialization, and it's like they just want to get out. They want to walk. They want to hike. I'm like, oh, we got to do something. Like we got to do something. So that kicked me into gear. I'm like, okay. In my 20s, I just go pick kids up and throw them in the car. But now we're in a place where you better have some liability and everything else. So I went. Tie Connects LLC was formed, and I did that. Knew I had to get my insurance and everything, and I'm talking to Monica on the phone. And for those who do not know, Monica Day is the phenomenal executive director of Stand Up Speak Out of North Carolina. Yes. She who stands before you right now. And I'm conversing with her, and I'm like, Monica, this is what I'm ready to do. I'm doing this hike. I told her the situation with the kids. I said, how you feel about partnering on it? You know, do the registration, get the data, and also be able to get some funding for that, because I'm not a 501c3. I'm not going to need it, but I know the work that she's been doing in the community for years, and this helps with mindfulness, interpersonal skills, social, emotional learning, all those different things. She was like, sure, sis, we got the registration, you do the hike. We partnered and started doing the hike last year in October. Right, so last year in October, and then it grew some more in November. And what happened, what was supposed to be for the kids, I get a text to say, can parents come? I was like, there's supposed to be a space for the kids. Yeah. So I hit up my sis, Keisha, who is also a volunteer with Stand Up Speak Out. She's amazing. I was like, so Keisha, sis, parents want to come. I know you was gonna be with my group, but do you mind leading the adults? And she was like, sis, bet. So we started off together, because we're communal. We started off together in the hike. Keisha took the adults, I took the kids. We had some other volunteers, some stand up speak out as well, who were with us, and my little sister who's not here today. And we went on this hike. And one of my girls, I love her so much. She was walking. This is her, y'all. She's walking beside me. This is usually my beauty sleep time. It's a Saturday morning. It is early. I am. And we ended up, and I'm just listening to her. And I'm listening to her. Y'all see that shade? Y'all see that shade? Husband, wife duo. And we have all these teens with us. And we go, and we're at a different location at the Umstead Park. And we're by the river, and I asked the young people, I said, how's your experience so far? And they said, I feel like I can breathe. They felt good because they were disconnected from social media. They said, I feel like I'm at peace. I'm like, okay, I'm glad to hear that. So I'm rounding them up because it's getting time to go. And I said, all right, y'all, we got to get ready to go. And they said, can we stay a little bit longer? And that's when I knew. I was like, thank you. Thank you. And I called Keisha, who was with the adults, and they were on the other side of the river. And I said, Keisha, can you ask the adults if it's okay to stay longer? Because I want to be respectful of their time. Right. Is it okay to stay longer? And they said yes. So I watched them when they came back, and they settled down at the side of the river, and all the kids spread out on the rocks, and everyone just sat, and they just looked out the river. And they had their own space. And I was like, oh, this is something. This is, all right, it's not mine.
Right.
I'm just a facilitator. So I invite you all on what is going to be an amazing experience. I invite you to get everything that you need today. Everything. If it is, I'm about to get ahead of myself. So let me go ahead and ask you this, or let me go ahead and plant this in your head. I want you to be thinking about something that you're grateful for. We're going to discuss in a moment. But at this moment, I